Yeah, all good memories. Probably the best time of my career I had when I was at St Johnstone. From the European games to the cup final, even the other cup final, the semi-final that season as well when we lost. So it's all good memories though.
Tell me about your relationships with some of the players, specifically Stephen Anderson, who was your partner centre half for the majority of your time at St Johnstone.
Yeah, got on great with Ando, had a few good laughs, I had a few fallouts, but nothing ever serious. We kissed and a cuddle afterwards and we were all fine, a wee cuddle. But Ando was brilliant. One time we were on the Christmas night out in Newcastle, and me and Ando were a pairing, Austin Powers and Dr. Evil, so we decided to shave Ando's head. Not that you'd know that we shaved it, because he's that bald anyway, but Sarah wasn't too happy when he came home with the bald head, and it was the baby's first Christmas, so I got an earful of Mrs Anderson.
Was Ando somebody that you could always have a good relationship with, a good laugh with?
Yeah, Ando's all. I still have a relationship with Ando, get a text every now and then from him, call me Olgin, so yeah, but we were similar. I think Ando and I were defenders first and footballers next after that. It was in to keep the ball out of the net, and I think that's how we got on so well together.
And tell me about the other defenders that you played alongside at St Johnstone, the one that won the Scottish Cup, for example, yourself, Anderson, Dave Mackay and Brian Easton. That was a formidable back four. Yeah,
it was. It was a great back four, and you think of how the back four performed in the cup final. Every one of us had probably one of the best games we could have had. So it was all good. Big Eastie, most laid back guy you'll ever come across, and cup tie is just cup tie, so I can't say too much now that he's my gaffer.
And just what did make that back four so successful in that Scottish Cup final?
Yeah, it's hard to say really. I mean, we all knew what each other was doing. I think that was the thing. We'd played that many games together, we could cover for each other without really knowing we were doing it, and we knew everyone's game, what they were going to do. So it was in that respect of it, I think we all knew what each other was going to do, so that made it easier to play with. Yeah, I'd say all of us were probably good leaders in the back four. We all talked well in the dressing room. We all had a bit to say when they needed said. On the pitch, just a shout, a smile, a nudge, anything at all, but usually end up with a bit of laughter after it as well.
And the team's had a huge amount of success in terms of finishing the top half of the table in the last few seasons. Other clubs outside Celtic would love to keep doing that year after year. What is it about St Johnstone that keeps happening? Yeah,
I think it's the underdog title that everyone seems to put on St Johnstone. They always prove people wrong, and as long as when I was there, everyone tipped us for the bottom six or relegation, and we always managed to make the top six. European trips, the cup final, winning the cup final. So just the underdog tag, I think, fires everyone up in there, and it plays into their hands really. I think the bunch of boys that St Johnstone have got in the dressing room just now as well, that thrives them. They really want to prove people wrong, especially when people say they can't do something, then they'll probably go out and try their hardest to prove them wrong. So I think that's why the underdog title really stirs the people in St Johnstone.
And it's the belief as well, it's that character that St Johnstone can go onto the pitch and against teams they're not expected to beat and then go out and beat them.
Yeah, definitely. It's character right through the dressing room, all the way through, even the new guys that the gaffers brought in. I think you can see there's character in them, and I think that's where Tommy does his homework and who to bring into St Johnstone. You can see that he keeps on bringing in the same kind of guys, the same, replacing like for like, and don't disrupt the dressing room, because that's probably one of the most important things there.
Is there any players you'd pick out? I know you've talked about the defenders you played alongside. Is there anyone else in the team that you feel were just so instrumental in the success that St Johnstone had when you were at the club?
Yeah, well, definitely Maka. I think when Maka plays in the team, it's a completely different animal. He organises from the front, he works his socks off, he doesn't stop running, he'll never shut up. He'll have a go at you, but all in the right way, and I think that makes a massive difference when Maka's in the team.
Yeah, just Maka, can you pick out any kind of instances?
I'd say Midgie, but I don't want to say Midgie because his head's big enough as it is. But that season, season when Midgie won all those Player of the Year awards, he was good in that season, but pains me to say it.
Well, that's it. What is the banter like in the dressing room when guys coming in the morning and things before training, and you're kind of sitting in the players' lounge before training and even before games and things? What's that kind of banter like between the guys?
The banter's cutthroat. It's you get absolutely slaughtered. If you do anything wrong, you'll get slaughtered for it. The worst one for it was Cuppy here. He'd slaughter anyone straight away. As soon as you did something, he'd slaughter you, and then Midgie or someone would try and nibble back, and then it would just go for there. And once, if you have a nibble back, that's it. The rest of the boys jump on you as well. So it could be anything from your gear to your boots to anything really. So you just need to be careful.
Who'd be the main group of guys that would be trying to stir people up after a cup tie?
You've got Ando. I used to like a wee bit of stirring as well. Macca, Scobes, Eastie, I think's the silent assassin. They always throwing out a few curveballs. Midgie will always try and get involved in it, but he's usually the one that would end up getting slaughtered.
With guys like Stephen McLean, who's had such a big impact on the club, and other guys as well like Chris Miller, what are they like behind the scenes, and what are they like in the dressing room, maybe at half time during an important game or out in the pitch as well?
Behind the scenes they're brilliant, good bunch of guys, still in contact with all of them. Just you get a special bond with what we got that day in May, and we'll always have that. And sometimes you don't really need to say much at half time. I mean, we all know the story about Macca at the League Cup the Scottish Cup semi, having his say, and it needed said, so that's why he said it. But sometimes the gaffer and Cal say enough, and it's maybe just a quiet word you have with someone just to let them know, and then you move on from there.
Just a bit on Tommy Wright and Callum Davison, Alec Cleland, that coaching staff that's just been so instrumental to the success, to carry on the success that Steve Lomas had when the team finished in third place the season before. Tommy stepping up from the assistant manager. I remember the first game we took at Rosenborg, we had a team meeting before it, and then you sat there in the team meeting, you came out it thinking, we can get a result here. Everything that we needed to know, we were told how to do it, and we did. We went there and we got the result, and Cal's always there with information if you need it, always helping you, always telling you things, and X there as well for moral support. With that meeting again before playing Rosenborg in Trondheim, that's something that Dave Mackay picked up on a few weeks ago and said that once he came out everybody was believing. What was it about that meeting at all? Was it just the words he was using? Was it the confidence he instilled in you?
Yeah, it was just the way he set it out on the wall, on the chart, on his laptop with his wee clicker and his wee red pointer that he's got. It doesn't let anyone touch. It was just when you went through the shape and you went through how we were going to play, and then you're seeing it and you're watching it on the screen, you think to yourself, we can do this, we can do it, and came out of that building straight to the stadium and we managed to do it.
Yeah, and just for you to have such a big impact in that game.
That's my only goal for the season, I think, that year, so good one to get. But to go away and score at Rosenborg, because you'd seen Rosenborg in the Champions League, playing against Celtic and things like that, so to go there and actually score on a European night was brilliant.
And those games against Rosenborg and against Luzern as well, does that kind of typify just what St Johnstone's about, as the underdogs that can go toe to toe with anyone?
Yeah, I think so. They've even proven it just now. I mean, went to Parkhead a few weeks ago and were unlucky to come away with a defeat. So we can go up against the best and be no scared of anyone, because they've got the ability there and the determination to match them. And
how good is it for yourself to feel like you've had a real good stamp on the club? You were there during the club's best years in the 132 years of the club's history. Yeah,
I think the older I get, I think when I look back on it, it'll be more of an impact. Just now it's still quite fresh and I'm still kind of playing, or trying to play, and I think once I retire and stop playing and I look back on it and maybe come back to the club more when I can and see people and talk to people and see the fans, then it will make a more of an impact, I think, on what we achieved at that club during the space of time.